Okay, this is Division 1 action now. We're back in the league. It's Jason Clark, aka Tracer Horn at the top, against Anthony Frederikson, aka Blazing Dragon at the bottom. This is an all-Canada matchup in Division 1. I may be wrong, but the only two Canadian players we have in Division 1. Just bringing up the hands, hopefully. Yep, whose hand is that? I am looking at Anthony's. I have no idea what he's on. Haven't seen this deck before. Jason looks to be on a bit of a home brew as well, so we could be in for an interesting matchup here. I know Anthony's deck of the Dowsing Daggers. I'm vaguely familiar with it, but I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about it, so it is definitely a brew. Just looking at Jason's hand now, we can see that he's in a bit of an awkward spot where he's got the charter course, but no creatures, although he's land flooded, so he can probably comfortably discard a land. And he's also got the unlicensed disintegrations, but no artifact in order to activate them to get the 3. He cycles land and finds an opt, as Anthony just plays a treasure map and finds a search for a Skunter here for Jason. He can play this with opt as well. I'll just switch back to Anthony's hand. Dowsing Dagger. Let's see what the other side says. I can't seem to be able to see it at the moment. But it's a Healy Ra. You don't see that in standard anymore. So we're back to Jason's turn at the top. Just deciding what to do with his search for a Skunter. Springwell is going to be able to assist him here to with a bit of filtering. Oh, okay, so he's on a variation of this Torment of Hailfire. I believe he needs to get that 4 mana artifact in order to copy instants and sorceries that he plays, so you can then copy Torment of Hailfire. I played against him in the league already, and he did that. As for Anthony, who we're looking at his hand at the moment, I've got no idea what's going on there. I would think he's just missing a land drop, and he doesn't want to play the Dowsing Dagger. He puts Disallow into his graveyard, so he's up to 4 cards. He's going to probably pass the turn here so he can Glimmer. Okay, so he just keeps, and Anthony just keeps scrying with at the end of the turn. So he's going to play a. Is he? Yes, going to play a land here. Is he going to run out the Dowsing Dagger this time? No, he's going to put the final scry trigger on, so he's going to flip Treasure Map now. And we can find out what this thing does. Treasure Cove. Oh, okay, so he can tap it and draw a card. Quite handy. I'm just going to bring that up. What happened there? Oh, okay, he tried to place... I was just bringing up a card. He tried to place a Healy Ra and got countered. So here goes Jason now. So his next step is he has to cast 4 instants or sorceries in order to flip that Primal Amulet. You can see he's got a Glimmer in a chart, which will make it quite easy. But that Primal Amulet's going to get taken. Or is the search for a Skanta going to get taken? He takes the amulet. Jason can get it back here for his unlicensed disintegration by taking out the hostage taker. Bontu's Last Reckoning. So I think he's got a fair amount of cards on both sides. Both players do, that are going to come out here. Unlicensed disintegration will get back his card, but it's costed him a turn. And search for a Skanta is going to be able to flip next turn. So he's got to discard a card now because he didn't attack. Plenty of dead cards here. Bontu's Last Reckoning. So we'll see what Anthony can find here. Well, once that Skanta flips next turn, is this the time to get Panharmonicon? Yeah. So Skanta is going to flip this time. And he's got to find 3 more spells for his primal amulet. Just bring up his hand to see what he draws here. Yeah, he's got the 2 glimmers and the disallow. Torment is his win condition, but the others look like dead cards. I don't know what Anthony, who's on the play now, he's Trespasser's Purse. That's probably a really bad card. We'll see what 2 cards he's going to come up with here. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong hand. Trespasser's Curse comes in, but I don't think he really cares because he doesn't have creatures to play. This time Saheeli Rai resolves. Oh wait, can this Skanta tap for blue mana? Let's have a look. Oh, it can, so he can disallow this if he wants to. He chooses not to. He can Arrow of Devastation, will hit the Saheeli Rai as well. So Anthony activates and scries 1. And that card goes to the bottom. So I'm curious to know what he's looking for here. The issue with Jason's deck at the top is 2, 4, 6 lands. He needs to a lot of lands to win with Torment of Hailfire. He needs to get to, to do it in one shot. To get 20 down, he needs to get 11 lands out. Chooses not to play anything there. Just bring up Anthony's hand again. What's he copying? He's going to copy the Panharmonicon. I think it only sticks around until the end of the turn. Yep. Okay, so he's going to disallow the Dulcine Dagger. He can still run out his other Dulcine Dagger. See if there's a second. There's no backup counter spell here for Jason. So this is going to give Jason, I believe. Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. Trespasser's Purse. The dagger's going to give 4 creatures to Jason. And coupled with the Trespasser's Purse, but that's a very slow burn to kill somebody. Oh no, I've missed something here. What? It's got a lot of triggers there. There's a lot of triggers. Is that a? Has he just killed him in one go? Because he's got 2 Panharmonicons, so it causes an ability to trigger twice. This comes in 2 triggers, so it's going to get the first one triggers will be 6, 12 creatures. So I think it's. I think he's got him. Yeah, he has. Anthony, or is he down to 1? Or a Scry of Saheeli will do it, except for the fact that Saheeli is going to have to die next turn. So he's 1 point short of finishing Jason off here. Oh, okay, he hasn't used Saheeli, so you can just Scry of Saheeli and do the last point of damage. Oh no, that's the trigger. Okay, it's my mistake. Now, Primal Amulet's going to flip, but Jason's got 38 life, so... No, sorry, Anthony's got 38 life. Jason's got a long way to go here. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can do 7. He can do 14 damage with the Torment of Hailfire, but it's nowhere near enough. It would be quite funny. I wonder if Anthony has the mechanized production. He can play it on the Dalcine Dagger as well. So Jason just thinking, how can he get out of this? The first step, or one of the steps he has to do to get out of this, is to kill Saheeli Rai, which he can do with Hour of Devastation. Oh, he's also got Vraska's Contempt. And he could also unlicense Disintegration and... wait, are these things artifacts? No, it's a plant, okay. What's he going to do here? Is it Vraska's Contempt? He's got the double black, yes. He hasn't... Yeah, so Saheeli Rai down. So Jason has to push through the last point of damage here. Oh, sorry, I keep getting the names mixed up. Anthony has to push through the last point of damage. Which... Did I see an unlicensed Disintegration in his hand? Let's have a look. Yeah, he can do it with the unlicensed Disintegration. Rampaging Ferocidon is another, like the Trespasser's Curse. So if he can't resolve a curse, he can also get a Ferocidon down. And I think for Anthony here, you don't want to play that Ferocidon because you'd imagine that Jason will be sliding out a lot of his creature removal. He's up to 3 life. How did he gain life? Oh, from the Vraska's Contempt, okay. Well, that's 3 life will still not save him from Unlicensed Disintegration next turn. And we're going to go to a game 2. Very interesting deck here from both players. There's that Treasure Cove, allowing him to draw a card, another Hostage Taker. Yep, just play the Unlicensed Disintegration and we're going to game 2. Now, in terms of sideboarding here, Jason's deck, even though I've played him in the league, I can't remember the details, so I don't believe he plays creatures. And when I played him, I played with the blue-white approach deck, and the deck is built in such a way that once he resolves that, once he can flip that thing into a land, then it's virtually impossible to stop. Okay, they're back now. I just have to very quickly send an email at the start of this. So Anthony's at the top of the screen this time. You can see he has resolved that keycard Trespasser's Curse. It's not particularly key in this matchup, as I'm just looking at his cards. He doesn't have evidence of counterspells. He's got a second curse, but what is key for him? Oh, there's a negate here coming for Jason. He needs some way to resolve the dagger to give the other player but he also has to resolve it with the Panharmonicon. So you can see Jason here has the negate, but he's just going to let him resolve the curse. He'll be saving the negate for probably the Panharmonicon. And here he can play out his Search for Skanta. So I'm guessing the game plan here is just to continue to use your Skanta to hit land drops and filter for counter spells and sit back until you can get your lands up. This pesky fucking Patreon. treasure map. Again, he's just Jason just sitting back. Oh, he's got the. We're just looking at Anthony's hand. He's got the Panharmonicon in hand. I don't know if he's got counter spells. Copy. Sorry, I'm just going to be 1 minute. Okay, sorry, I just had to sort out an email, so I'm back now. Let's see what's going on. We're looking at Anthony's hand. He's still holding that Panharmonicon. Jason has got 2 counter spells, so the Panharmonicon's probably got no chance of flipping, but Jason still has to find his second win con. You see here, Unlicensed Disintegration is only going to be a creature removal. I wouldn't be surprised if he took everything out except his Unlicensed Disintegrations. And Treasure Map's going to go to work here. Once he can get that 3rd counter and he can start... He will start drawing an extra card every turn. Our Braid here is just a burn spell. So he chose to keep that, interestingly. If he's going to use the Eternalize is at 7, 2, 4, 5, so he's still 2 land drops away from Eternalizing. Does this bring a counter spell? Jason's got 4 cards in hand. This would represent a decent clock. I think this probably brings out the Unlicensed Disintegration, actually. Yeah, on the Ferocidon. It's not going to do the 3 points of additional damage. But you can see Jason there with a Field of Ruin in play, so he can actually destroy the Ascanter if he wants to. So 2, 4, 6, 7 lands. Ascanter costs 3 to activate. Now he's got a second Field of Ruin, so he can just take down that Ascanter if he wants to. 2, 4, 6. Although the ability to Eternalize Champion of Wits would also be quite appealing here. You can see Jason's got his win con, but he's a very, very long way away from casting it because he still needs to get the amulet down, and then he also needs to cast 4 spells to trigger the amulet. There's the amulet. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, so he's still got counter magic up, as treasure map's going to flip now. Now, Anthony at the top has a braid here, so Primal Amulet's going to go down here. This is a big call from Jason. It's part of his win con. Does he protect it with the counter spell? Or does he keep the counter? He's going to protect it, so the shields are down now. Actually, they're not, sorry, because, yeah, it's one less. He can still disallow. Oh, but that's a big draw. That's huge. He's gone and tapped his mana wrong. He hasn't got the blue mana from the gate, has he? How's he going to tap blue? Oh, he's going to use his treasures. Okay. Yeah, I think he wasted a treasure there, but he's just lucky. So he's out of cards. Anthony's out of cards, but he's got his Panharmonicon. Jason needs 2 more cards in order to flip his Torment of Hailfire, in order to activate his Torment of Hailfire, sorry. Yeah, big play there for Anthony. Just lucky he's got those treasures. So what's Jason going to draw? Only a land. He's going to go to 8. Still 2 spells short of activating the amulet, or flipping the amulet. Meanwhile, taking 3 hits a turn. Let's see what the draw is for the turn. Hostage Taker. He's got no answer to Hostage Taker. And he can actually cast Hostage Taker and cast the amulet if he wants to steal the amulet. Let's see if he's going to take that path. 1 card in hand for Jason. Does he try and steal the amulet? He does not. Jason can activate his Ganta here. So we'll see what he's going to find here. He has to reveal it, I believe, an instant or a sorcery. Supreme Will. He'll probably cast that and go digging for sure. It'll also activate the amulet. And I really think that Anthony needed to steal that amulet last turn. Because he's up to 3 now. He can actually flip that amulet if he finds the right card here. And then 2, 4, 6, 8. He'd only be able to do 14 damage. I mean, he's got the treasures, so he can... He pays 2, then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will be 12 triggers for Torment of Hailfire. 12 triggers he could sack. 1, 2... He'll probably sack the Trespasser's Curse, you'd imagine, because he's kind of on... Or he certainly sacked the Champion of Wit, so he can eternalize it. Now... Oh, okay. Yeah, Field of Ruins is going to take care of that Primal Wellspring. So it's difficult to see how Jason's going to win from here. Particularly with another Field of Ruins on the board. Yeah, I think he's got to dig here and try and find a disallow. Although without the... He can't actually cast a disallow now because of the flip of the amulet. Yeah, I don't see a way out of this for Jason. There's the disallow, but he's a land short of casting it. And down goes the amulet. That's crushing blow. And he can only play the land out now. 2 disallows in hand and an unlicensed disintegration. So he's got the counter spells to stop whatever Panharmonicon's going to trigger off. But only a hostage taker in hand here. Oh, I don't like this play, getting this counter. Jason's got 6 cards in hand. He can actually disallow this if he wanted, but no. It's the amulet is the key here that you have to go after. He can activate Treasure Cove to draw a card. Treasure Cove doing serious work here. Oh, and now a dispossess. Surely this has to be countered. He has to counter this one, otherwise I think it's game over. He's going to name that primal amulet. It just Anthony. Oh, he's allowed it to resolve. And Anthony can see his full deck now. I don't have access to it, but I don't see how Jason wins the match from here. All 4 amulets gone, exiled. He can do 8 damage with that Torment of Hailfire, but still a long way short of 20. And he's down to 4 life. As his second Champion of Wits comes in, I just answered the door. Okay, sorry about that. UPS delivery. And this is going to be on the Champion of Wits. But this is going to allow him to eternalize the Champion of Wits, and which would probably force Jason to use a disallow. I'm just puffing a bit because I have to run down 3 flights of stairs to get to the door before they drive away again. So what's still with Jason? He's got 2 cards in hand. Oh, sorry, Anthony. I keep calling him the wrong person. He's got that Dowsing Dagger. He doesn't have enough to eternalize and cast the dagger. So we'll see if this draws out a... because the dagger resolves, it's game over. This brings out a disallow. As we look at Jason's hand... he's still got a negate, so he can still negate the dagger next turn. Duress. Okay, Duress is going to get the dagger. And a disallow. So he's holding in there. As we look at... but he's got the dagger and the hostage taker. Dagger down. And now he doesn't have an answer yet for the Glint Nest Crane. And he can't actually play a creature to get rid of it, even if he brought a creature in, because the 2 Trespassers Curse are going to do damage to him. But he has a disallow to take care of the hostage taker. Not that I don't think Anthony will want to play the hostage taker as a simple 2/4 for 4 without a target, but I don't imagine that Jason's going to have many targets to go after here. Okay, so here's the first Torment of Hailfire. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's going to be for 8. And put Jason... oh no, it can't be for that. He needs to hold up the disallow. Wow, okay. He's doing it for the full 8. So this is going to put on 8 triggers, 24 damage. Okay, so he can discard Hostage Taker for the first. He loses 3, loses 3, loses 3. Sacrifices a creature. Loses 3. I think he can lose a Trespasser's Curse. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Loses 3. So that's 7. 1 to go. And sacrifices a curse. So he's down to 5. Let's see what he can top deck here. A Braid would win it, because I think it does 3 to the face. Oh no, it doesn't, sorry. A top deck Torment of Hailfire will also win it for Jason here. I think I would... he's going to eternalize Champion of Wits again. That's lethal. Is that the second one? Yeah. So that's going to enable him to draw 4 cards, and then he only has to discard 2. Oh, he can't play the... okay, so he gets 2 triggers from the Panharmonicon. He's discarding very quickly here. Is he going to duress now? No, he's going to play the Dowsing Dagger. Oh, that's going to do 2 damage from the Panhum, or is it enough? It's going to be enough. It's going to do the 4 damage. So Anthony's going to take standard 2 games to 0 against Jason.